Now, Muslims in Techiman in the Borno East region observed this year's Eid Al-Adha celebrations under strict adherence to COVID-19 safety protocols. The Al-Sunnah Wal Jama sect ensured that individuals attend the Eid prayers with their private praying mat in order to observe the prescribed social distancing as well as control the spread of coronavirus. Correspondent Anas Sabit was at the Eid celebration and filed this report.
Amid strict adherence to the safety COVID-19 protocols, the Al-Sunnah Wal Jama'ah sect observed this year's Eid Al-Adha festival at the Jako School Park in Techiman. Municipal Chief Imam of Aswaj, who led the prayer session, expressed satisfaction with the congregants' adherence to the protocols.
We spoke to them since about 1 week now. We've been speaking to them on radio, in our mosques, and so on. We've been telling them they should do it. So when they are coming, I saw that, let's say about 99% of them are wearing the nose mask. So, alhamdulillah, I think we are now doing well.
Imam Idrisu called on the people to stay away from political violence as we zoom into the electioneering season.
My message is that I don't want any time, if there is a problem, you see that they call Muslims have done this, they've gone to fight here and there. It is not good. So we should know that Ghana is our country. And we have nowhere than Ghana. We have no anywhere to go. Only Ghana will stay. So if the place remains peaceful, we should also be peaceful. But if we let some war start here through us, God will not forgive us.
For Malam Murtada Muhammad, who is part of the committee that ensured that the COVID-19 protocols are observed, he tells me that the Muslim community is now well informed with regards to the adherence to the safety protocols.
We had a committee that came here very early in the morning, and then they drew lines, making sure that everybody who kind of spread the mat or the prayer rag or the sajada in the line so that the stuff will be straight. And then what also happened was that the committee made sure that whoever came, people were around to make sure that whoever came will observe the social distance by setting your sajada or your prayer rag apart from the other person. So I think it was very, very good. Emphatically, I will say that now the Muslim community is well informed about the COVID-19 social distancing protocol and any other protocol that was laid down by the president.
Some of the congregants who were happy with the conduct of the prayers were full of praise to the organizers of the Eid.
Al-Sunnah Aswad Techiman especially, they have done very, very well. Looking at the way they put the Veronica bucket and the mask, they ensure that everybody should observe it. So when you even come and you don't have it, they tell you, Master, wear your nose mask. You know, Ghanaians, sometimes somebody will wear it, but you put it on his neck. But I can see there are people, the scouts, they are passing and say, Master, put on your nose mask. Yeah, I can see they have done well. They have done well.
Oh, the protocol, I think the imams need to be commended. They have done very well. When I was coming, I saw someone without the PPE, and then an elderly man told him to go home and get one just around here. And I believe that the imams have done well. Even though you won't get 100%, but relatively they've done very good.
So this has been the situation here with the people here impressed with the conduct of this particular Eid from the Techiman Jako School Park. My name is Anas Sabit for JoyNews.
And still on the Eid celebrations, Ghanaian Muslim leaders have charged young people in the Islamic faith to shun violence as the country prepares for the December 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections. One of the leaders is the Imam of Dama, Sheikh Redwan Muqtagu Abbas, who has been addressing Muslim youth during the presentation of some items to them on the occasion of Eid Al-Adha today. Nancy Emefadra-Dosi has more in this report.
One by one, they enter the central mosque dressed in their best clothes, and this time with face masks on. It's the new normal for these young Muslims as they observe COVID-19 protocols before entering the mosque for prayers. Almost 2 meters apart, these Muslims knelt on their mats, praying to Allah.
In our prayers, it is instructed that we should get closer to each other. Your shoulder should touch the shoulder of your brother. But in this situation, you have to ensure there's 2 meters between you and your brother.
Imam of Adama called on the youth to eschew violence ahead of the 2020 elections.
This is always where we have problems with our younger ones. The politicians, they only remember you, the youth, when it's election time. After the election, that is all. You have just become like a hoe. They used you to weed. After weeding, when it's time for harvesting, they just put the hoe aside. We don't want to be like that. We should let them know. And then before you be able to let them know you know your right, you should be well educated. So if you are well educated, nobody will even approach you to come and go and do anything bad for him. So whenever any politician approach you to come and do some violent or act violently, tell him to go and bring his children fed to lead the exercise. This is my advice.
Unilever Ghana donated items including Unilever bar soap, thermometer guns, and face masks to members of the community to help combat the virus.
We are grateful to the company and the chief who has Sunlight, the company Sunlight, who has given out this, and then the chief Ni Obusokan, who also, I think, initiated it. We are so much grateful. They have given us, after all they have provided, after the prayers, there are some gifts they give out, soaps to send home. We are so much grateful.
Despite all the challenges the virus brought, there was also something to dance about.
And with the Zongo Development Fund and the Inner City and Zongo Ministry already yielding human and infrastructure development in Zongo communities, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has stated that the Akufo-Addo-led administration has by far cared for the interests of deprived communities than any other government in the recent history of the country. Speaking at a virtual Eid prayer at the forecourt of the GBC House Friday morning, Dr. Bawumia outlined the many interventions the administration has implemented in the inner cities, including scholarships for brilliant but needy students from deprived communities to study medicine, as some human-changing policies that are having real impact on lives that will otherwise be neglected. He also promised that the Akufo-Addo administration, if given the second term, will do more, including building 16 model SHS in Zongo communities as part of its program to improve livelihoods.
Your Eminence, a government that cares is a government that alleviates the suffering of its citizens during a crisis. And that is exactly what this government has done, and inshallah will continue to do during this crisis. We can say in all humility and without any equivocation that there really is no government in recent history that has paid as much attention to the development needs of the Zongo communities and put in place a vehicle to deliver those development needs as the government of His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo promised the people of the Zongo that he would establish the Zongo Development Fund if he got elected, by the grace of Allah. However, after winning the 2016 elections by the grace of Allah, President Akufo-Addo did not only fulfill the promise of establishing the Zongo Development Fund, but he also decided to go a step further by creating a ministry for Zongo and inner city development. Today, the Ministry for Zongo and Inner Cities Development, as well as the Zongo Development Fund, serve as dedicated government agencies addressing issues affecting the Zongos and inner cities, especially on education and infrastructure development. So this means that, inshallah, from now on going, the Zongos will always be catered for in every budget. This is the first time in history. Every budget we will have allocations for the Zongos. This year is an important year for our country as we will be going to the polls in December. If Ghana is revered across the globe as a shining example of democracy in Africa, it is because of how we have generally conducted ourselves peacefully in previous elections. We have to maintain this enviable reputation, and it is important for all stakeholders to ensure that we maintain peace. We enjoy the peace we enjoy in this country. We in government have a responsibility to ensure that, and we pledge our commitment to that. I want to take this opportunity to appeal to the youth of the Zongos to reject being used as pawns to perpetuate political violence. Our communities no longer be a place where the violent-minded people will come and hire people to propagate their agenda. This must be a thing of the past. We are fortunate to have our father, the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Osman Nur Sharbutu, an icon of peace we can always draw inspirations from to eschew violence. I urge every Zongo youth to emulate the peaceful nature of our father wherever you are and ward against acts of violence. Regardless of your political affiliation, politics should not be a barrier between you and your fellow brother from the same community. The elections are a simple exercise of choosing worthy leaders who will ensure our inclusion in national policies, welfare, and our nation's development. It is not an exercise to divide us through violence.
Now, still on Eid Al-Adha, some sheep and goat sellers at Aveno Market say the coronavirus pandemic has negatively affected their business. They say there's a reduction in the number of patrons who trooped to the market during the celebration of Eid. Maxwell Adoba was at Aveno in our report.
Livestock really plays, a big role when it comes to the celebration of Eid Al-Adha. More especially also because it is to commemorate Allah's command to Prophet Ibrahim when he tested his faith, his loyalty in him, and asked him to sacrifice his first son to him. Later, we know an angel directed a goat to Prophet Ibrahim, and he had to sacrifice, that goat. So if you're celebrating and commemorating Eid Al-Adha, livestock plays an important role.
Eid is for obedience and sacrifice. Obedience in such a way that our Prophet Ibrahim have dreamt of sacrificing his son. But through his dream, and then he wanted to sacrifice his son, and then God gave him a ram. That is the obedience aspect. And then the sacrifice is the sheep, the animals that we are sacrificing to celebrate the Eid. So these animals you are saying we slaughter is to give to our family and then relatives. This is where we always meet in our senior brother's house to celebrate the Eid.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a sheep for my mom. Oh, okay. And there's a holiday for Muslims.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're trying to celebrate it very nicely in the Muslims way.
How much are they going for? Is it what you expected?
Yeah. It's up to, we have some 2,005, 1,005, whatever. But if you have 1,000, you have to buy the one. You have to buy the 1,001. Yeah. If you want to buy 2,001, there are some people that can buy about 3,000. Some are buying cows and other things. But it seems we have to go for the sheep. Then we are trying to see. The prices are somehow it's okay.
As you can see from the other side, also quite a number of people also gathered there doing business, they're trying to buy. We were quite impressed by the numbers that we saw, here. That one of the sellers I spoke to was actually telling me about how coronavirus has impacted the market, negatively impacted the market. And I was surprised to hear that in previous years you find a lot of people here, but the numbers have reduced, as the seller was telling me. Sir, you're welcome to JoyNews.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier that you don't have a lot of people coming to the market like it used to be.
Yeah, the whole thing has spoiled. There's nothing in this system. We are just here since the day before yesterday up to now. They're not buying. We are just there. All of us we are standing. No one is coming to buy. If they come, they'll say the money is high. The money is high. The money is high. The safety is very high. We can't bring the animals here. Everything is spoiling. Nothing is in the country.
Okay, so wait, how much are you selling this one, for instance? How much?
This one is 2,600.
2,600. Okay.
And this one is 2,800.
Okay.
Previously, last 4 years, it wasn't like this. We could get something like this, 1,500. The ones that we read that we are using, because they can't bring animals inside. This is the one we are rearing. So it's very expensive.
Wow. Wow. And the buyers are not willing to.
The buyers are not buying because it's too expensive. The buyers are not buying.
Let me speak to you. Sir, what's your name?
Arona Imoru.
Okay. Your brother is telling me that the market is not really too good like you've seen in previous years.
It's true. The market is not good. When I came here from since last 2 weeks, until now, I don't sell anything now. Wow. You see them? Nobody is buying it.
But I see a lot of people driving here. Some of them have parked their vehicles.
Well, like that. They will come and stand and ask it, but we won't buy. They say the thing is the money is too high. They say the government no pay them, so they don't have money to buy.
I pray that later in the day the market will be good for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Why are you pushing? Why are you pushing it too? Why are you pushing this too?
Because
why are you pushing it too?
They want to go. Yeah.
They don't want to go. Why are you pushing them too? Should I help you?
Oh no, thanks.
Are they yours? Are they yours?
So that was a report from Accra, from Avena right here. My colleague Max Oladobia brought us that. But from the Bono region, the East Regional, that's Bono East region, Anasabit has been interacting with some of the sellers who are also complaining of low sales.
The Eid Al-Adha is finally here. It is the second of 2 Islamic holidays celebrated worldwide and considered the holier of the 2. This afternoon we are here at the Techiman Sheep and Goat Market. We're here to find out from the sellers here how the market has been compared to same period last year. We want to know if the COVID-19 pandemic, which has affected most trading activities across the world, has also affected their businesses here at the Sheep and Goat Market. Join us as we do this quick interaction with the sellers here. First, we engaged the secretary to the Sheep and Goat Sellers Association of Techiman. Yaya Abubakar shares with me how the situation has been.
Not good as usual, because I think it may be the effect of the corona, the pandemic disease that has happened. So we have to manage. If you go to the market, you can see there are no buyers.
Others also share same sentiment with Yaya Abubakar. They all attributed their low sales to the COVID-19 pandemic. There is no money in the system as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and so we are experiencing low sales. A year ago by this time, business was booming, but this year things has changed. Asked how the pandemic is contributing to the low sales this year, Ibrahim Alidu had this to say. The COVID-19 has affected several businesses. People wish to buy the animals for the Eid, but they can't because they do not have the money. Per my interactions with these sellers, I noticed that the prices of these animals have skyrocketed compared to same period last year. Yaya Abubakar tells me that the closure of the borders contributed to the high cost of these animals this year.
Oh, it's true, the prices are higher. But it is not that we intentionally make the prices to be higher. The time we were used to going to Burkina Faso to buy the animals, to bring them here and rear them, those times the borders were closed. So, it has affected us. So we are relying on the local breeds, which they are very costly. So that's our problem.
For Abdullah Musa, who is here to make sales all day, he currently has over 100 sheep and goats. However, the lockdown, according to him, contributed to the high cost of these animals, as several businesses were affected as a result of the pandemic.
1,008.
This goes for 1,800 cedis because the lockdown of the borders prevented us from going to Burkina Faso for the animals. One have to spend extra money before giving access. As it stands, most of these sellers at the Techiman Central Market will not be celebrating the Eid in a joyous mood as they did the previous year. This is why.
It started since Eid Al-Fitr. We did not enjoy as usual. And this Eid Al-Adha too, I think it will be the same because there are no buyers. How can you enjoy? You wouldn't even be at home, leaving your animals at the market. So I don't think we are going to enjoy the Eid Al-Adha.
So this has been the situation here at the Techiman Sheep and Goat Market. My name is Anas Sabit for JoyNews.
And here in the studio, my name is Ernest Menu. Happy Eid Al-Adha or Eid Mubarak, that's how they say it, to all our Muslim brothers. We're taking a short break. When we return, we'll bring you some stories on politics. Stay with us.